Hello, guys. I've been kind of not wanting to post this video for a long time, but also wanting to post it. And I was getting a lot of requests on it, and it's just gonna change the way you spend your free time on this game. Like the biggest secret, I guess, that a lot of people. Now, the first thing you need to know is there's these big notes on the map, and they have purpose. They're not just randomly there. They are for mining materials and things and stuff for gold, but think of them as indicators. These big nodes are these on the screen. These aren't all of them, but this is generally what they look like. They just look like a bigger version of of a normal source of raw material you could find and get a large amount of. These are going to be indicators. They're on a code that's similar or a relative number to ancient chests, and that's how they're related. If you don't know, RNG can be, some RNG, not all RNG, can be influenced to produce the same number more often than not than just always random. You could do certain things or know certain things are spawning based on what numbers are where and how they're checked, or not checked, I should say. So that's the first thing you should really know. And I'm going to explain how these are linked and how you can tell that they're indicators. The biggest thing you need to know is it's channel based. Channel based and region based. So what I'm telling you is if you find one thing, it's specific to that channel and region in a certain area. Just remember that. You're going to need that information throughout the whole video. Now, this is where things are a little complicated and hard to remember. So I'm going to put this on the screen, but also explain it. You find a big node in channel 1. Okay, that's indicator 1. So the ancient chests may or may not spawn there based on where the next node you find is. And the next node either has to be in the same area or a different area. If you find two nodes in the same spot on different channels, that means that it can't be in that area. Usually it means something else is in that area. But if you say, for instance, find one node on each channel, this again on all 4 channels, that means that either someone already got the ancient chest or it is still there in that vicinity area. Now, where things get complicated is if you say, well, here's a chart first. Here's the different numbers. If you have one on channel 1 and one on channel 3, that means within the area or that region, you're gonna have an ancient chest on channel 2. And then if you find a big node on channel 2 and 3, it means it's gonna be on channel 4. Channel 3 and 4 equals channel 1. Channel 1 and 4 equals channel 3. Channel 1 and 2 equals channel 3. Channel 2 and 4 equals channel 3. Now, channel 3 is like a really popular channel, but for me testing it and other people testing it, this is how we got the channel and the numbers down over and over and over, doing this for like 3 weeks straight. Again, this isn't completely right because there's still some other variables that you have to look for to make sure that this happens. And obviously, putting this out there, this also means that other people are going to be doing this. So if you happen to not miss an ancient chest, if you happen to miss an ancient chest or don't get it, you know, it's just part of the game. Someone just beat you to it. I mean, I'm putting this information out there, so it kind of just helps people. I would say don't be greedy. Definitely help out people. You know, once you get your 10 or 1 or whatever you want, just stop. Just don't do it anymore. Like, it's not. It's really just being greedy. Like, there's no point. So now you might ask, well, what other variables are there? Well, I'm glad you asked. If you didn't ask, I'm going to tell you anyways. Most of the time, the indicators are like no big node, or instead of a big node, there's just a normal material there. And again, this is only for specific regions that we've tested this. On other regions, it may be different. That's why I'm still testing this out and everything. But there also can be mobs in the area, and that can tell you that something isn't able to spawn there, or you just missed a chance for it to spawn, or someone already got it. Most of the time, if there's a mob there or close to the area, that means that someone already got it, just like within an hour or so. Mobs will start acting differently, avoid areas, similar to like how they are with rare mounts and such. And the other thing is, in some of these areas, rare mounts can spawn, so that also changes the point of that spawning there or the ancient chest spawning there. They can't, from my experience and from us testing this, you can't have both. You can definitely have them on different channels, but you can never have both at the same time. They never spawn at the same time. So it's just, I don't know, it's maybe unlikely, but it just hasn't, from us testing it, hasn't happened. From anyone testing this, I've never seen it happen either. Now, the last thing you need to know is everything's on a timer. I mean, everything's on a timer. From the raw materials to the mobs, the rare mounts and ancient chests. And there's also can only be a certain amount of ancient chests or mobs in one area to spawn within a certain time frame as well. And the best way to put it simple is there can only be 6 to 8 ancient chests in one area within 6 hours, and they're it's kind of similar with mounts, but there can only be 3 to 4 rare mounts at a time as well. But specifically, we're just talking about ancient chests here. So you have a window to find all the ancient chests, and if they are found, the nodes won't spawn, and that's how you can tell that all of them have been found. The nodes will reset after the 6-hour mark or so. So around every 6 hours, everything kind of just refreshes or resets. So keep that in mind. If you just find one ancient chest and nothing else spawns, but other nodes spawn, that just means it's a 2-hour timer of the window of the other ancient chests. So let's just say you find one ancient chest in, I don't know, Padana ruins, and then you find a big node or two, maybe like an hour or two later. Most likely it'll be 2 hours. Then that means that within that time frame of those 2 hours, from the moment that you find those nodes, that means an ancient chest spawned in the vicinity or that region. So somewhere in Padana. Obviously, it still follows the rules from before, where it's whatever region it is, and you have to figure out where the nodes are to find the indicators of how to find it. And yes, that does mean that you can find the same chest in the same spot on multiple channels, because everything's kind of, like I said, on a timer and relative to that area. As we all know, ancient chests can only spawn in certain areas on the map, but every day we're finding more locations, that seem kind of off. So, ancient chests can pretty much be anywhere, but the ones that were leaked on the map earlier, about a month ago, they're still pretty much right and accurate to the exact spot, but there are some that you can find off that map, and you can find multiple of them, again, in the same spot, depending on if you're fast enough and anyone's helping you, and all the other variables from previously. And the last thing is, knowing this information, you can actually influence things to spawn fast. And this is the biggest thing that I found. Again, I don't know if this is an exploit or if this is explanatory or not, but mining a node within a certain time frame or multiple nodes within a certain time frame can force the code to start transitioning the next code to spawn. So the code would be mob dies, and then rare mount spawns, then big node, and so you mine big node and then find another big node on channel 3 You already had the channel 1 big node, lioness, or sorry, rare mount, I'm just saying whatever, rare mount, channel 2, and then all of a sudden you get another node, channel 4, and bam, you go back to channel 1, and all of a sudden there's an ancient chest. Things like that you can do, but this is where I'm not 100% at. I've done this multiple times, but I don't know how it still works. It's not 100% accurate. You know, I can't tell you what channel's what. I just got lucky, I guess, doing it. Other people give me other data, so we're still researching it. So there's going to be another part to this video, but just know that the nodes are indicators, and they're part of the code that's very similar to ancient chests. So when you find that, you can just mine it, get some goodies, wait like 15 minutes, change channels, search around the area, and bam, you should find an ancient chest, depending on how lucky you are. But before you do that, you should already look for ancient chests in that area because the nodes are there for indicators. Most of the time, when you find 2 nodes in 2 different channels, the ancient chest is somewhere in between, or like far right or far left of those indicators. Again, this only worked so far from what we tested in North Sperios, Padana Ruins, Biron, and Timeless Jungle. Thank you, and hopefully I see you guys again for the next video, which is about rare mounts. I appreciate everyone. I'll answer comments, obviously, and I also stream every other day on Twitch. It is twitch.tv/senpaijello. Please give me more information, insight, so I can make another better video to this and continue on the research. Help everyone out.